Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Actually, I'm at a new place, so I was searching for good internet. Actually, that's why it got late. Okay. So last class I dealt with organelles, right? Cell organelles. But rest of the portions of cell organelles will be since Mallikarjun sir will be dealing with the whole genetic section. So he'll be telling about the rest of the organelles, and we can share. Means if you have any query, you can ask anytime, no problem. So from now onwards, I'll be dealing with the plant breeding section totally. So today we'll be seeing the overview about the plant breeding, like how, what it consists of, how you need to study it, all those things. Okay. And anywhere who is whoever is not getting what I'm saying in English, you can stop me. I have already unmuted, allowed all of you to unmute yourself. You can, or else you can put it in chat. I'll be discussing in Hindi, that section also, no problem. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. So for JRF and SRF, both of them, plant breeding is a major section, as all of you know. For your JRF purpose, you have five things to read, right? Genetics, plant breeding, then seed take, then your microbiology, and other things are also there, right? Pathology, sorry, I forgot to mention pathology. So out of them, plant breeding consists of a major portion, and you'll be getting tricky questions out of this. Okay. Sometimes we get factual data-based questions, but most of the questions are conceptual. Okay. So you need to understand the concept behind that. Then only you can able to answer the question, right? So that is what the plant breeding actually. So as all of you have might have brief idea what plant breeding consists of. So it deals with, as the name suggests, it is plant breeding, means you have to deal with the plant first. Okay. So your starting material is some plant which you are going to breed, means your aim is to improvise the particular plant type. Okay. So what you are doing is you are doing some crosses, you are doing some selection, or you are working upon the plant genotype, so as to what's your aim for in plant breeding, to enhance the value either in economic terms, either in production value, either whatever value that will be useful to mankind. We will be trying to add those sort of value, and we will be developing some lines, some varieties which can be more useful to society. Okay, that is the main purpose of plant breeding. And as all of you know, it is art, science, and commerce. Like in the very beginning of the class in UG, they used to say, like, why they say it like this, because only by studying the theory portion nobody can master plant breeding. Okay. So like yeah, if somebody studies emasculation, it is simply will be studying the term emasculation. But until unless you do emasculation in field, you will not be realizing actually what is going on with emasculation. You'll be having a brief idea in your mind, but clear cut scenario only you can get when you see or perform the particular thing. And why it is said as commerce means it it is aimed for a commercial value ultimately, isn't it? That's why it is said like that. Okay. So that is brief introduction about plant breeding. So from a examination point of view, this carries a very high weightage. So how you need to study all those things. So what are you going to study over here in the plant breeding? Basically, see, if you just divide whatever material over there, you will be having some of the history sections. Okay. Some of the facts like say pure line will not have any variation within line, but between line may see some variation. So some factual things are there every time. Okay. Then there will be achievements in plant breeding, like which variety or which development has been done, or which breeding method has led to what improvement in society. So all those kinds of facts we are going to study. Okay. Next is that, next thing you are going to study regarding the breeding section, like actually how you do the breeding. So for that purpose, first of all, you need to study the plant biology. Plant biology, here what will you study? First of all, the flower means you are going to breed the thing, means breeding is done from one generation to next generation. So the intermediate stage where we can work, where the breeders work, is on the flower. Okay, because the flowers will only next develop into seed, a fruit, and it will be ultimately passing on to the next generation. It has the capability to transmit the it whatever genetic material to next generation, right? So plant biology is very very important. So for all the plants, we'll be studying the flower type, how the flower morphology is, where the anther is, where the stigma is, what biology is associated with it, how the pollination mechanism is happening with whether it is by air or wind, air or insect pollinated or whatever aspects. Okay, so in plant biology, basically you will be studying the economic botany. I will be dealing with that also, economic botany. In that, what will you study means, we'll be basically studying about the plant type, whether the plant is a particular plant is shrub, herb, or it is a monocot plant or dicot plant, what is the chromosome number, basic facts related to the particular plant. And if anything peculiar facts are associated with it, let's say in case of a tomato, you can see conical anthers. Okay, so that is a peculiar thing. And in case of your what in case of your rice, you can see six stigmas, means and in case of your wheat, you can see some sessile florets, some non-sessile florets. So like that, some important factual things you'll be need to study in case of your economic botany. Then coming to next section, that is pollination. Here what will you study is what how the pollination is actually occurring, what are the variants in pollination, what things actually uh, helping in pollination, and how the pollination mechanism is aiding to the process of plant breeding. All those things we'll study there. Then crossing related phenomena, what here you'll study is all the emasculation processes, all the crosses like what is single cross, what is double cross, what why should you go for the particular cross, what is the variability level in the particular cross, and when you should go for single cross, when you should go for double cross or three-way cross, what are the types of cross, and whether the cross will lead to any sort of what heterosis will be there or inbreeding depression will be there on. If at all those things are present, what is the genetic basis behind them, and what are the interactions working, all those things we will be studying in that section. Coming to the third part, that is the breeding methods. Okay, breeding methods are classical breeding methods. We have so many classical breeding methods. So rarely means till now there is no other method like from 50 60 years back, whatever method they have suggested, we are continuing those methods only, like starting with your mass selection to pure line selection and ending with your population improvement approaches. Okay, so we'll be going through them one by one. After looking at the breeding methods, so actually we will be implementing the breeding, so that section comes under your crop breeding. Okay, so in crop breeding, especially when you are not you all have studied that in one of your semesters, either in fifth or sixth semester, one course will be there like crop breeding, where you have studied the cereals, pulses, and some of the oil seeds, few fruit crops also, few vegetables also. So out of them, some important crops only according to your syllabus will be studying. Okay, basically cereal crops are much important, and out of pulses few are important, out of oilseeds few are important. So like that you have to study. Okay, then actually in all these things, no, like genetics and plant breeding, these two are not separable thing. Genetics consist of the principal part, and what is inside the particular plant. For understanding that, you need to study the genetics, right? There all the principles are available, like Mendel have told that how the genes are getting transferred, how they are behaving actually in a particular cross. And later on in chromosomal theory, they have told that genes are on chromosomes, how they are going to interact with each other. All those things we have studied in genetics. So in breeding, what we do is we used to apply all those things for improvising the particular plant. Okay, so apart from this, this is the broad categorization of your plant breeding. Apart from this, there will be a section like biometrical genetics, where what will you study? We will be studying the all how the um, what non-qualitative trait, that is a quantitative trait. Qualitative trait means which can be which is having distinct classes. Okay, like let's say flower color means you can distinctly say that flower color is either white or red or something like that. But if you see somebody's height or something's yield or something's weight, you cannot tell that okay it will be 1 or 2 or 3 like that. You cannot say. It might be 1.1 also, 1.2, or any range. It will be having a particular range, but not a particular value. You cannot assort a particular class for that. All those traits are called quantitative traits. So we'll be studying that also. And that basically useful for your very basic things you need to study for JRF. But for SRF people who are preparing for SRF, they'll be having some extra sections like your molecular breeding, molecular breeding, and where you will study all the molecular markers and the marker assisted selection procedures, all the mapping procedures, all those things you will be studying. And in the biometrical genetics and quantitative genetics, as I told you, that in that section you will be studying regarding the quantitative, how the quantitative things, how the quantitative genes are behaving, and how we can calibrate and how we can work with those sort of traits. Okay, so there are various principles, there are various procedures involved in that. Okay, so that is not for JRA purpose. For JRA purpose, for from that quantitative genetics and biometrical genetics, you need to only study very little portion, like just headings or few factual things. So we'll be dealing with that, no problem, don't worry. Okay, so this is the broad heading. Now coming to where what you need to study for this. So all of you know these two basic books, like this one is Plant Breeding Principles and Methods, and Essentials of Plant Breeding by Fundan Singh. First one is Breed Singh. Okay, so most means all over India, wherever you see, if you see, take the question paper, this Essentials of Plant Breeding is okay to deal with the questions. Okay, means if somebody has studied the Essentials of Plant Breeding, you can attend the factual based questions. But from my personal point of view, if I'll say, when I was preparing for JRF, uh, I I had also two options, like all of you. Okay, that whether I'll go for Pundan Singh first or BD Singh first. Many people think that plant means BD Singh book is very huge and you cannot study, you cannot understand it properly, and it will be very boring to read. Okay, I'm understanding all of your queries, but still I would suggest all of you that you should go through medicine book for a better and clear understanding of breeding. Why? Because once you will go through that book, no, it is like let's say in in our homes, no, whatever your old scriptures are there, like um, what religious books like Gita or something, they used to say whether you understand it or not, you should read it. I'm not saying in that sense, but first of all, in that particular book, whether you understand the book or not, after you go through it, you will have a 20, 30, 40% understanding. And since we'll be guiding you, you will have some better understanding. Definitely when you read it second time, you will have a very clear cut understanding. Okay, but whoever has already started with this, they will continue. Whoever has not started with this, since it is already December, you don't have much time, I'll not force you to go through this. But if you find some time, wherever some important chapters I'll be mentioning, where the concepts are very important, for that sections you have to go through BDC, like especially for the portions like your male sterility and self incompatibility and some other chapters are there. They are very conceptual, and for that you need to go through medicine book. Okay, for otherwise you can continue with this Essentials of Plant Breeding by Fundan Singh, and that too line by line you have to read anyhow. Okay, and coming to the next part, that is the objective section, you have to read the um, objective plant breeding by BD Singh and BK Prasad. You can also go for objective by plant breeding by Fundan Singh. But in Fundan Singh book, what you will observe is, first of all, they have given some one liner things. Okay, so what, and after that questions are there. So what I would suggest it, you will see a common pattern that in the questions there will be various formats, but most of the questions of various formats are almost same. So what I would suggest is just go through the one liners from that particular book, Objective Plan Breeding, Fundan Singh, and do one set of question, either fill ups you do, either true false you do, either multiple choices from that book. Don't do all the thing, that will be a waste of time. Okay, so just do one of them, any one pattern of them. Multiple choice will be okay, because your exam pattern is in multiple choice only. So you read the one liners in that book and do the multiple choice questions, and later on you can repeat the particular process, right? And next is Plant Science at a Glance, and these two books, fourth and fifth book you see over here, these two books are very good for your summary purpose. Means after you read the chapter once, no, you should go through, this fifth book first. Okay, after you read a particular section, you should go through this particular book, where they have concisely mentioned various extra facts, what related to the particular chapter. So that will add to your knowledge. First thing is that. And this particular book, Plant Science at a Glance by Ajit Kumar Singh, now it is an updated version. I don't know which edition is recent one. I have the older edition of it, but it is a very nice book. Okay, so I have realized through all this JRF, SRF, and all these exams that many of the questions directly came from this book. Okay, so but be careful whenever you are reading from any of this 3 4 5 like this, any of the objective or one liners, for wrong concept. Don't get any wrong concept. Wherever you are finding any contradictory thing, just get it confirmed. Okay, from textbooks or from us, from anywhere, from reliable source, you get it confirmed. Wherever you are getting a conflicting thing, means you have studied from something from your textbook, and you have read something in this particular one liners or objective book, there will be some mistakes, there might be some mistakes while compiling this book. So that is not, we cannot blame them. So it is our duty that we have to take care of all these things. Okay, and this book, that is Plant Science by A Elongavan, this book is a compilation of the previous questions. Okay, previous JRF questions, I think it is starting from 2005. So you will get all the year questions, memory based questions, and from last year onwards you will be we have the full length questions, because from last year onwards ICR has given the questions, right? Means it has given the answer keys and questions, so we can get it. But previous years we have to depend on the what this particular book, and some other sources are also there, we'll be discussing on that. This is particularly for the JRF purpose. Okay, and for SRF people, I'll be telling you, for SRF things are very quite a different. So for them, reading the plant breeding principles and method is a quite must. You have to read it very very thoroughly. Fundan Singh book will not be sufficient for SRF. For that, you have to read this book very very carefully and thoroughly. And all these books, whatever I mentioned over here, you can go through this also. This will be helpful in that also, and in upper exams like NET, ARS, all those exams also. All this rest of the books will be useful. Okay, and apart from that, for SRF people, there will be some other books like you can go through. mm, there is a book called Keynotes in Plant Breeding. That is why I forgot the author's name, is some Reddy. Okay, you need to go through that book. That book is a very good compilation of biometrical genetics and all those things you need for SRF. If JRA people want also, they can purchase that book. That book has very good conceptual clarity also. You can purchase it. And apart from that, yeah, there is a book for SRF. You have to read Ready Recognition of Genetics. One book is there by SB Sai Prasad. That book you need to read. Then Biometrical Genetics by Fundan Singh and SS Narayanan. That book also, that is very very important, line by line you need to read for SRF. Okay, that is for biometrical genetics. Then for molecular breeding, if you have seen this year question, you would have observed that much of the questions in SRF were from molecular breeding section. For that region, you need to study the book by B.D. Singh and A.K. Singh, named marker listed selection book. First 10 chapters very very thoroughly. Okay, so I think around 20 to 25 questions are from molecular breeding itself. Okay, so that carries a major huge section, and it is not like fact based thing, it was very very conceptual both in JRF and SRF. So apart from remembering the facts, you all of you need to focus on the concepts. Okay, and that is for breeding section. And for economic botany, all of you can go for there is a um, if you have the notes of your particular university, that will also work, or else you can go for the notes um, notes of TNAU. That is a good compilation. That is also TNAU notes is recommended by ICR also. So you can go for that. Or Angaro notes also is very good. Economic botany section is good. Then if somebody is from Harvard also, their economic botany notes is also very good. So if you can collect, I'll try collecting. If I can collect, I'll be sharing with you. But if anybody is from those university, please share your notes with uh, in group, so that others can also get benefit. I don't know exactly who is from which university. So if anybody is from all these universities, please share your notes. Okay, and especially if you have any manuals in economic botany, because in economic botany we have standard books, but thing is that they are quite a huge, and you don't need to read the whole book, right? We'll be giving some material, but still, because they are the standardized thing by the university, they carry the weightage. Okay, and next thing is ebooks. Why I mentioned ebooks is for JRF and SRF, many a times you cannot find all the things in one book. So you have to go through some, for some section, some understanding, you have to go through some ebooks. Okay, so where you can find the ebook, simply by searching the title you can find the PDF sometimes. Okay, or else there are various websites, to name the few. There is a website called pdfdrive.net. pdfdrive.net. There many of the famous books are available. Okay, you can download them. And apart from that, ebook 777, like that, some website is also there. That is especially for helpful for SRA people, because you need to study from foreign author books. Especially like for genetics, you need to study from Simonson Noster book, that is the principle of genetics. And I genetics book by PJ Russell. Those books are nice, you have to study all those books. And for plant breeding section, SRA people can add George Aqua book. And another book you have to study, I forgot to tell you, that is Chahal and Gosel. That book is very very important for SRA purpose. That book you need to study. And these are some important books. And apart from that, if I find any section, particular section important, I'll be telling you, don't worry. Okay, so how to read all these books? So I'll be telling you, I'll be just giving you a for example. Just a second. So first of all, what you need to do is, whenever you're starting with a book, how should you read the book? Means if you find the chapter is boring, or book is looking very heavy or lengthy, what should you do? You should first open the book. That is the first step. Means you have to carry the book and open it. Because if you'll not at all seeing the book, you will get frightened, means you are not going to study anyhow. So you just take some courage, carry the book and open it, and just scroll through the book. Okay, just simply do nothing, scroll through the book. let's say this is the particular chapter. Okay, this is the particular chapter. This book is Simmons and Ostead book I mentioned you. So because I can't show you the physical book, so I took a this one soft copy. Okay, so what you need to do is just scroll through the book and scroll through the particular chapter. So what will you see here is, first of all, you need to read the headings. Like what are the headings telling? Okay, here some headings will be there like cell division. Okay, this particular section is telling about cell division. So under that, what you are going to study? Mitosis. Then what you are going to study? Meiosis. So you'll have an idea that okay, in this chapter I'm going to read cell division, regarding cell division, meiosis, mitosis, this, that. So you'll have a brief idea. After that, what you should do is you look for the figures. See, figures are very, very important. Whatever textbooks I mentioned, no, there, whatever figures are there, they'll be adding to your understanding a lot. So never ever miss any figure. Means this diagrams and figures are very important. So what people usually do, they will read this and they will, okay, this page is carrying a big picture, means that page is escaped. Okay, I completed this page and I'll go to this page. Don't do like that. Okay, because they have given this particular diagram for some reason, no. So you need to read this particular whatever written in this diagram. Just after reading the headings, you just look at this diagram. Okay, here this thing, these things are there. So some colorful diagrams will be there, so you'll get some interest to read. Okay, so you got to know like what figure is already present in the book. So by the time you will read the particular paragraph, you will be getting to know, okay, this particular diagram was telling about all these things, right? And after that, while reading the book, what you need to focus upon is, see here they have given some darkened words. Can you see? Here they have given some highlighted bold words. These bold words are important, that's why they have highlighted all those things. Okay, so while reading, you need to focus upon all these things. And another thing is that in many of the books they have given the key points like this. So what they will do, after each section they will be summarizing the particular thing what they have described. So never ever miss these particular things. So they will, and take a note out of it. Okay, and making notes also very, very important. I'm not telling in the sense that you have to make a very elaborate note, but you need to make a very short note, like what to say, uh, some flow charts, some mind maps, like let's say in mitosis we are studying about mitosis. So where mitosis occurs, how mitosis occurs, how many progeny will be produced. So just put the mitosis over here and then make some rows, make some arrows, or make some points, and in one page just put all these things. So whenever you need to revise mitosis, just open the particular page and you can have a glance. At a glance you can see all the points. Okay, like that. And don't forget to highlight or use some color pens to mention the important points. Like in meiosis, you see in your pachitin you will be having the crossing over. So that is a frequently asked question, you also know that, right? So you need to highlight or do something to eye catchy things, so that whenever you see, first of all, you never ever miss that particular point. So this is how you need to read the any of the book, right? What happened? Something happened, no? Scrolled once and kept it. Okay, actually that book is big, no? That was not responding properly. That's why this occurred. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Now you know how to read it. So have some courage and don't frighten of books. Books are your friends, not enemies. They are going to help you in all the things, and ultimately they are the only thing who will lead to your aim and dream job. Okay, ultimately. So think of them as a best friend of yours. Don't let them separate from you. Okay, Then while reading the book, many of the time we face a problem, like if we are taking a book, we know we have started reading it and we are sincerely reading it, but it is taking a very long time to read. Means if somebody takes a book that is a 500 pages, we are taking 7-8 months to read it. Means there is, we can read it and that will be helpful for a long run, but thing is that we don't have that much time. No, we have to read other things also, right? So how to manage all those things? So I'll be asking all of you, before your examination, in your semester examinations, before the day of exam, how many pages you read basically? In hundreds, isn't it? Am I telling truth or not? Tell me. Anybody listening to me? Am I telling truth? Before the day of semester exams, how many pages you read in a bulk, and all of the things you digest or not? Hello, anybody there listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I was telling is, like before your semester exams, what we do before 2-3 days or 15 days or 20 days, when you think of okay, I'll be going for studying for exam, those who are studying for whole semester is okay, but still before the exam in 1, 2 or 3 day we finish much of the course syllabus, isn't it? So you also know that you have the capacity to cover that much portion in 1 or 2 days, isn't it? That capacity you have, you have to put the same thing over here. You have to put a time limit for finishing a particular book, and that time limit, like if say 300 pages one book is having, so what you need to do is you set a time limit that I'll finish this book in 1 week. But don't take it vaguely, just fix it very tightly that you will finish that book in 1 week only. Okay, so within that 1 week you need to finish the particular book, right? And if you can't make it, you can put it in group also that ma'am, I am going to finish this particular book in 1 week, I'll remind you whether you have finished or not. Okay, so do that. Then when to read? So thing is that we find it very difficult. Some people find it easy to read in late night, some people find it easy to read in morning sessions, some people can't wake up in the morning, isn't it? The issue with getting up in the morning. So everybody is having that, don't worry, you are not the only one. So everybody is having such kind of issue. But thing is that whenever you are reading the concepts, new concept, it is better to read in the morning, because in morning hours you'll be very fresh, and it will be very easy to grasp all those concepts. So don't put heavy things, whatever you find it heavy, don't put it to for studying in the night. You should read it in the morning sessions. And in the evening and night sessions, what you should do, you should do the revisions or you should attend the objective sections. Okay, like that, or practice thing, or making note while you are writing. No, you'll be busy, so your mind will not stop working. If even if you are tired, you'll do the proper job. So you can make the proper note in the evening section whenever little bit of tired or lazy. Okay, so that thing you can do, or you wherever possible you can manipulate according to your convenience also. But in morning section, everyone will agree with this, in morning session, since you woke up after a long sleep, you will be definitely very fresh, so your mind will receive better at that time. Okay, then how much time you require to read? So everybody is having a college work, the rawe work will be there, or if you are in third year, your semester work will be there, like that. So after everything, you need to study anything. I could not study anything, but some days you'll be very busy with other things. Ramya, a bit slow. So whenever you find time, try to manage. In some days, you might be busy that you cannot read anything. Try to finish it in okay. Then next thing is how to revise thing for around say a 7, 8 or 9 months. First month, no, you will just see like letters are dancing before your eyes, and it will be very difficult to remember everything. So is it visible now? Hello, students, is it visible now? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So so what you need to do is whatever you are studying in the whole week, you need to revise. So set if I choose any of the day in the week, whichever you are comfortable with. So on that day, whatever you have studied in the whole week, at least whatever notes you have made, just uh, quickly go through it once. For that you can keep 2 3 hours, that will be sufficient for your particular coursework study. Means coursework means for genetics 1 or 2 hours, for breeding 1 or 2 hours, like that. And in Sundays especially, I'll tell you, you need to work for general agriculture sections in Sundays and Saturdays. Okay, why? Because just try to read little bit, half an hour or 1 hour general agriculture every day, and whatever you have read, no, just read it once again in the Sunday, whole section, whole thing, whatever you read whole throughout the day, throughout the week, just read it, give it a read in the end of the week. So you will, but you'll be remembering better all those facts, because in general agriculture you have to remember so many things, no, so repeatedly going through it will help you. Okay, so mind maps, like I told you, some put the major heading in the center, and keep on sectioning and put the only important things. Don't write is, are, and all those additives in the sentence. Just put the important points, important words in that page, and try to minimize your notes for a particular thing in one page. So whenever you want, just open the page, we can see the whole chapter, what is happening in the chapter. Okay, and next is, yeah, next thing is look for the creamy things. Why I mentioned this is, see, there is a principle in psychology book, and many of the famous book, they used to tell a 20 80 20 rule, like we used to study the 100% thing, but from where the questions actually come is very limited facts and very limited portions. So if somebody from only 20% of the thing, questions will come, but we are studying 100% thing. It is it is good to study the 100%, but if somebody can focus upon the 20% highlighting things along with reading the rest of the 80%, so he will get a better advantage. He will be at an advantage that he has not missed the highlighting 20%. So you need to identify which sections are much important from your examination point of view, and never ever miss them. Okay, so to tell you few things, like why from the very beginning I told you to read glossary, and you might have found it odd, or you might have found it boring also, like why ma'am told you to read us words and all. But you see, in plant breeding or genetics or any of the science, you will find new terms itself tell a lot about them. Okay, so when you are reading glossary, what I wanted to do you is, you'll be finding a definition attached with a particular word, isn't it? So that definition itself, let's say, in the definition of mutation, it is telling that sudden random, sudden, heritable change. So 4 words you have seen. All these 4 words can be put into 4 different questions. You see, first thing is mutation is random, mutation is sudden, mutation is heritable, and all these things. So the definition has each and all, every word is important in the definition. If you see the Hardy-Weinberg principles definition itself, in a large open random mating population, the gene and genotypic frequency will remain constant in the absence of mutation, migration, random drift, and selection. So if you just elaborate the particular definition, you will get 10 questions. In a large, first thing, for Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium to be applicable, the population should be large. If it is not large, it will not work. Second is open. Open means there should not be any controlled pollination, or nothing should be there. It should be open. Random mating should open, random mating should be there. Population, it should be a population itself, means it is not applicable on individual, it is applicable on a population basis. Hardy-Weinberg law is always and always applicable in a population basis. Then it is telling about gene and genotypic frequency is constant. What is remaining constant? Gene and genotypic frequency. That is again a question. When it is constant, what are the particular four assumptions for it? That selection should not be there, migration should not be there, random drift should not be there, and all these things. So while reading the glossary, while reading the particular definition, you need to read it in that way that from that particular definition, what and all the particular words, what and all the important words, you need to find out and figure out. Okay, so what can be put into WH questions? Why, what, when, where, all those kind of thing you need to ask, right? Like, what is pure line? When we can call it pure line? What is the behavior of pure line? Means in that way, which way you can put the particular word and put a WH word before it, if the your definition will tell all those things. So if you are reading the glossary regularly and knowing the new words, new terms of the particular subject, definitely you, after few months, you will find yourself much confident, because anything will come means you know something about it. Okay, you don't know everything, but you know something about it, so at least you can guess, right? Next thing is appendix. Appendix, where it is available, can anyone tell me where the appendix are available? Any idea?
At last,
At last of what?
at last of the book.
Backside. Yeah, at the last of book, that is the backside of the book. Okay, so why they have given the appendices, it is to add to your knowledge. Like when you are reading Mendelian genetics, or when you are reading plant breeding particular part, like let's say mutation, you have read the mutation breeding. So they would have described this particular mutation is doing this particular mutant is doing that, this mutagen is doing this or that, or something they have mentioned. But always it is not possible to cover all the facts in the book. Okay, so there they have given the appendices in the back, where they have given the additional information. And that additional information is the one of the most important creamy thing from, for your examination point of view, from where you will get. If you just see overall appendix of genetics, plant breeding, and biotech book, you will get at least 10 to 15 questions from that appendix section. I'm telling you the fact. Okay, so what I want all of you to do, first thing, from objective genetics, objective breeding, and objective biotechnology by BD Singh, BK Prasad, from that book, whatever appendix section is available in the back, all these three books, that appendix section you need to get it xerox. Either you have all these three books, or else if you don't have the book, get it from your library or from your friend or wherever possible, and get a copy of the appendix section, and collage all the things in one book. Means merge the three appendix sections in one book, so that it will be very useful for you in the revision purpose. Okay, and you have to, I'll be making you study all the appendix section regularly, don't worry for that. By the end of 2-3 months, you will be master in appendix. Okay, so do that thing. Then summaries are present at the end of your chapter. They carry all the important points, so you need to study the summary sections. And formulas, wherever you find the formulas in the book, formulas are very very important. So what you need to do is, you need to you can make a small note, means like pocket notebook, pocket diary, something like that, where you will write down all the formulas. Wherever you find any formula related to particular thing, you will write down the formula in that particular notebook. So you will have a compilation of all the formulas together. Okay, Okay. Next thing is current affairs. So right now, since the pattern of your examination is changing, so you need to study the current affairs section. For that, what you need to do is, we will be providing the monthly magazine and all those things. Still, there are some applications I'll be telling you, like Grade Up, and I'm not telling you to go through them daily. And like Adda 247 or 747, something like that, it is there. Okay, I'll be confirming you that site and tell you. And if you just search for weekly current affairs, just go through the headings. If you find any of the headings related to agriculture, just grab it. Okay, just grab it. Like if you find any bill has come up on in this particular time, like the farmers bill which has come recently, and it is in big news everywhere, it is strikes are going on. What you need to, you don't need to understand who which party did all those things and all. What you need to understand is what that bill tells, or 2 3 points will be there, that you, that much only you need to understand. Or any new variety came, any new innovation came, all those things you need to study. And the newly released variety are very very important, that too. Variety released by IRI, ICR, and important institutions, you need to go through the varieties. And especially, like I send you today one document regarding the biofortified ones, which are something different kind of variety, like any variety developed for gene pyramiding. And any if any variety comes from your CRISPR Cas technology or like that, all those varieties are very very important. Just a second. Okay. And another thing is that what I want all of you to go through, once in a week, just any time, let's say you just fix a time, whether Saturday or Sunday or any time, for 15 minutes to half an hour, you have to visit the ICR site. Okay, that is why, because in ICR site many of the things are getting updated daily on a daily basis. But it will not change, no, whatever they are previously updated, it will not change that frequently. So once in a week at least, you need to go through the ICR site, see the updates. Wherever we will find the updates, definitely we'll be telling you, don't worry for that. But for your, you should be sincere, no, for your sake you should be putting some efforts in this regard also. So try visiting the ICR site once in a week. And you need to read about the whatever the recent agriculture schemes came, and they are coming frequently in your exam, like PM Kusum. Last to last year they have put the question PM Kusum, what that project actually aims for. Okay. And they used to ask like the particular project has released for which state, or the particular scheme is for what thing, means for energy conservation or for farmer welfare, or like that they used to ask. So all these things will give you solid marks. Why I'm telling these as creamy things, means if you are mastering these things, no, you will be ahead of other people. You will have a distinct thing which other people are not having. No, not all the people are updated in current affairs, not all the people really, everybody know that appendix are important, but most of the people have not have a comment on the particular thing. So if you command on this thing, no, definitely it will add to your performance. They have gathered for attendance, huh? Okay. हाँ. Just a second, student, I'll be back in a minute. Hello? Hello, students, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, where we have left? Okay. So, we have left at objective practice. So, right now, don't go for objective practice. You need to study the chapter thoroughly. Then, you need to make the notes out of it. And for revision purpose, revise it thoroughly once a week. After around you finish the book, after that you go for your objective practice. Okay, because if you'll start on objective, no, if you'll find many things you don't know, and you'll get scared of the particular subject and you will not read it anyhow. So don't do that. That will be giving some negative impacts on your study, and you'll be demoralized and all those things will happen. So don't do objective things right now, and you will get various very wrong things are also mentioned in some of the objective books, so that will be imprinted in your mind, so that is not a good thing. Okay, so first of all you go thorough on the particular subject, then only you practice the objective. Okay. Okay, so that was regarding what how you need to study and all. So so what we are going to see, I already told you, like all the methods and all. And now tell me what difficulty you face while studying the reading section. You all might have started reading section, no? So you tell me what difficulty you find while studying, so that I can help you. Okay, if anybody is having any difficulty in reading, or approach to reading, or you find anything difficult, so not in the concept, even if in the concept will be helping her, definitely I'll be telling you. But right now I want a overall idea, like how you are perceiving reading, or you are getting frightened of it, or you love it, or what kind of thing you feel about reading, just tell me. Yes, you can unmute yourself and tell. Yes, anybody?
Ma'am, I just want to know,
Yeah,
whatever schedule means, whatever things we need to follow. I mean, there are breeding, genetics, seed technology, and plant pathology and microbiology. Five things are there. So each day we should go for these five subjects. Five means five. What
reading all those things
subjects?
every day,
Uh,
or yeah, and or
or in one day or day wise or what means মানে খিচড়ি
I
বকরা
got
है
it.
मेरा
I
सब
I I got
ये मैं
your
पूछ रही
point.
हूँ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the thing is that when you open a book, at least for reading a particular section, even you will need to concentrate. You first of all you need to make in your mind that you are going to read it. Then you will get the book. Then you will start reading it. You will feel somewhat boring. All these things are happening or not? Tell me then. Okay, after I finish telling you. So then you will read the first paragraph. Somewhat you will be getting involved. After reading 1 or 2 pages, you will get bored and feel like leaving the book, isn't it? Anybody felt
Yes,
like that?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that happens with everyone. That is, you are not new. That happens with me also. So means frankly, I'm telling you, that happens with everyone. So what you need to do is, you need to combine two things. First of all, you might be having some liking things, like out of all your 5 sections: breeding, genetics, tech, and pathology, whichever section you will having little bit of fear that okay, I am not good at it, or first of all you should not have any fear, because all those subjects are yours only. You are only going to master all those subjects. Even if you are having little bit fear, or even if you find some things difficult, so you pair it like one thing which you find very comfortable with one thing you don't find that much comfortable. Okay, you pair first, you read that comfortable one, then you read some portions of that difficult one, whichever part you find it. So make combinations like it. Okay, so if you can allot, how that depends on how many hours, like you said, no, all five things you will read one day, or you will read one subject one day. So that depends on this thing. If you are having 2 hours or 3 hours only in a day, because of some reason, because of your schedule or whatever it is, if you find only 2-3 hours a day to read, so you can combine two subjects per day, like 1.5 hour for one subject, another 1.5 hour for other subject. Minimum 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour you need to study a particular subject, then only you can finish a particular section at least. Even if not complete one chapter in a day, at least you can finish one section. Okay, so do like that. Means if you are finding breeding little bit difficult, or if you are finding pathology little bit whatever, I'm not telling because everyone has different perspectives. So whichever section you are finding little bit difficult, combine with whichever section you are find easy to with, or whichever section you are finding
Voice breaking.
comfortable with. That is a good way. Means you will not get bored. So whenever you feel like leaving the book and go, that time you just grab the another book and start reading it. So we'll be back to it. Oh, sorry. Actually, it is raining over here. That's why internet problem is little bit there. Yes. Are you preparing for JRF or SRF? Please tell. Are you there online? No, he's gone. Yeah, you're there. Okay. Akanksha, JRF. What about Binatul? You asked the question. See, if you are preparing for JRF, and if you have already started reading breeding, then you need to, you can continue. Okay. Or else, if you have started with Fundan Singh breeding, no problem, you can continue with that. But Fundan Singh breeding book, you have to go through line by line compulsorily. Okay. And if someone has started reading the BDSing breeding book, that is comprising of the extended version. So what will be the benefit of it? That after you finish reading BDSing breeding, no, you will, when you will open just Fundan Singh breeding book, that will be very easy for you. Means very within 10 to 15 days you can cover the whole book of Fundan Singh breeding if you have studied this one. So I will not force any of you to read the BDSing breeding for JRF, but thing is that if anybody has started it, you can continue it, and after that for 15-20 days you can go through Fundan Singh breeding book. And I definitely, I'll assure you that you will be able to grasp it in that particular way. Why? Because you have already studied in extended version. But if you have not started with that book, don't bother me, because it will take some time. Okay, so I'll be telling you the important chapters which you need to anyhow study from the BDC grading book. So go for those particular chapters only. Okay, am I clear?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Before, yeah.
Uh, ma'am, there's this chapter. Breeding for resistance. For abiotic stresses and
Yeah.
book, which are
Yes.
quite difficult to understand. So that's why I just asked you which chapters we could skip from BDC book and that we can read from somewhere else.
See, chapters you can skip if you have read from BDC grading book. Then I'll tell you. Just a second. Huh? Starting with everywhere in Fundan Singh and Bridi Singh, both of the books, it will start begin with the introduction section. That anyhow, that is important. It will comprises of the summary of whole book. Okay, that is very important. Then domestication and germplasm conservation and center of diversity, all those sections will come. That section you cannot skip anyhow. Introduction and mode of reproduction, that is pollination mechanisms, all those things come. That also you have to study. And incompatibility, male sterility, both those things we cannot skip. You from breeding, if you want to means I will tell you the section. Only you can skip the biotechnology for crop improvement, that will be there somewhere towards last. In new book, in which particular chapter that is present, I don't know. In my book, it is in 35 number chapter. So biotechnology and crop improvement, that chapter you can skip. For the chapter you mentioned like quality breeding and resistance breeding, from them several questions are asked. But you don't worry, if you are reading it, just go through it once. While I'll be teaching that particular section, I'll be covering the important things, and I'll be telling you the important sections which you can go through. Okay, so
Okay.
just to give you the briefly about resistance breeding, let's say biotic resistance. What you need to study is first of all how the disease is working. Then the pathways like the vertical resistance, horizontal resistance, mechanism of resistance, anyhow you need to study. Then after that you need to study that boom bust cycle, clean crop approach, dirty crop approach, all those things you need to study. Then some important parts are there. Which part you found difficult, just you text in the WhatsApp group. I'll be telling you whether you can skip it or not. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Apart from that, anything, any difficulty in reading? Please be frank. No problem. Any silly thing also you can tell. Whatever you feel, if you feel sleepy, if you don't feel like reading the particular chapter, or whatever it is, you can tell. We'll be discussing and we'll be coming out with a solution.
मैम पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है.
कौन सी चीज पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, बताओ.
कुछ भी नहीं मैम. मैम बस
कुछ भी
ये होता है,
नहीं.
हम ये होता है कि कोई टॉपिक स्टार्ट करो, उसके
हाँ,
बाद 2 दिन पढ़ो अच्छे से, उसके बाद मैम क्या हो जाता है कि अगर 2 दिन 3 दिन,
लगता है.
नहीं मैम 2 दिन अगर पढ़ाई नहीं हुआ ना, फिर उसको
अच्छा.
पहले से स्टार्ट करना पड़ता है.
हाँ.
फिर कुछ नहीं मैम, बस ऐसे ही करता करते 6 महीने चले गए. और
ऐसे ही करते करते वही चैप्टर में अटके पड़े हो, राइट.
हाँ मैम, मैं आज तक मैम इंट्रोडक्शन में ही बैठा हूँ मैम.
ऐसा होता है, ऐसा कोई मतलब वो नहीं है. पर ऐसा मत करो यार, 6 महीने चले गए तुम्हारे, अब क्या करोगे. छोड़ो.
बस मैम आप मेरे को हिस्ट्री में कुछ भी पूछ लो, मैं बता दूंगा.
That happened to me also. See, when I was reading, no, I read that history chapter 12 times. Okay, I'm telling you the truth,
मैम
fact.
बस
I
मैम
have
आप
read that chapter. हाँ, बोलो.
मैम आप 12 बार पढ़े हो, मैं 12 बार लिख चुका हूँ वही चीजों को. सोच.
So that is human tendency. Okay, if you'll just if I when I start writing means notes, I'll be thinking that okay, I'll start with the first chapter. I'll do the first chapter, second chapter, and after that I'll get bored. Means I'm telling you in the fact thing, when I was preparing for JRF, I faced the similar kind of things. That's why I'm asking you the exact thing what is going through, what you people are going through. Okay, so I can get your concern very clearly what you are going through. तो तुम्हें क्या करना है अभी, पहली बात तो वो चैप्टर को छोड़ दो, ठीक है. अभी तुम्हें हिस्ट्री को देखना ही नहीं है. मैं तुम्हें क्या बोलती हूँ, तुम जाओ डायरेक्टली, मतलब ऐसे आंख बंद करके बीच में से एक चैप्टर उठाओ. मतलब हाथ ऐसे घुमाओ, जो भी चैप्टर पे तुम्हारा हाथ अटके है ना, उसको उठाओ, ठीक है. जो भी बीच में ब्रीडिंग मेथड आया या फिर मेल स्टेरिलिटी आया, जो भी आया, whichever chapter you drop at, just move your hand randomly, whichever chapter you drop at, just open it. Okay, because you have set a trend that you will be reading from the very beginning, that's why you cannot move forward. So ऐसा करो, अभी क्लास खत्म होने के बाद खाना वाना खा लेना, उसके बाद अच्छे से, मतलब मैंने जैसे कहा, आंख बंद करके बस हाथ घुमाना, जहां पे तुम्हारे हाथ अटके ना, मतलब ये सिंपल फंडा है, देखना ये वर्क करेगा, पक्का वर्क करेगा, ठीक है। जो
मैम
भी
फोन पे
चैप्टर में
चला जाता है।
हाथ अटके उसको खोलना, और कुछ बिना सोचे, मतलब तुम्हें वो चैप्टर समझ आए ना आए उसको पढ़ना, ठीक है। कल
हाँ
मुझे बताना तुमने कितना पढ़ा,
मैम,
मुझे
फोन पे
सच में
चला जाता है।
जानना है। हाँ,
मैम फोन चला जाता है फोन पे। मैम फोन को कैसे अवॉइड करते हैं मैम?
फोन, अच्छा, ओके, दैट डिस्ट्रैक्शन, या दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to avoid. Okay, so right now phones are coming with various facilities like what, focus modes are there, and you can keep your phone out of your sight. So that is the mechanism of self control. तुम अगर अभी self control नहीं करोगे तो बाद में लोग तुम्हें कंट्रोल करेंगे, ठीक है। कुछ दिन के बाद जब तुम जॉब करने लगोगे, अभी पढ़ाई नहीं करोगे तो उसके हिसाब से तुम्हें जॉब मिलेगा बाद में, तो फिर बहुत सारे लोगों के कंट्रोल में तुम रह जाओगे, ठीक है। तो इसीलिए अभी थोड़ा अपने आप को कंट्रोल करो, हाँ,
थैंक यू
ठीक
मैम।
है।
थैंक यू मैम।
मैम
ये थैंक यू अभी मत बोलो, मुझे रिजल्ट चाहिए तुम्हारा, ठीक है। अभी तुम्हें
मैम
पढ़ाई करनी है कैसे भी। हाँ बोलो।
वन वन थिंग टू आस्क मैम।
या श्योर।
मैम आपने जो अजीत सिंह या फिर इंस्टेंट मीन्स जो
हाँ, ओके ओके।
समरी वाला बुक जो भी बोले, तो
हाँ,
उसको मैम कैसे करें? मतलब एक बार पूरा वीडी सिंह या फिर वट एवर स्टैंडर्ड बुक उसको खत्म करने के बाद उसमें
नहीं
जाए
नहीं नहीं
या
नहीं
फिर
नहीं।
एक सेक्शन?
See, like I told you, for the particular thing that is Arpit Kaur book, no, that book they have given chapter wise completely. Okay, like for separate chapters in many of the summary kind of book, you will find it chapter wise. If at all you are finding the book with chapter wise sectioning, after finishing the particular chapter, after reading the particular chapter from textbook, you can
Yes,
read from
ma'am.
that book to get the extra informations. And
Ma'am,
otherwise, what
actually,
you
I
can
have
do is,
Ajit
हाँ
Singh.
बोलो,
Ma'am,
yeah, please
actually, I
tell.
have Ajit Kumar Singh. So
Okay,
from
okay.
that,
In Ajit Singh, they have given also chapter wise, but they have not sectioned it with headings and all. So what you can do is, whenever you're getting bored out of studying all the paragraphs and complete textbook kind of theory, just for your breaking, after you take a break, just go through the book for 15-20 minutes, like 1 page or 2 page. Okay, make some highlighting over it wherever you find some good points or important points. In that way you can study Ajit Singh. That is a good book. I have studied that whole book, means almost the book. That is a very good book for comprehensive study purpose. Okay, so you can study that book in that way. That will be helpful. Yeah.
thank you, ma'am.
Anything else anybody want to tell, share? For distractions, no, for distractions will be there, and you don't have that much time right now. See, already December has come and only you have 4-5 months in your hand. Okay, so distraction will come, phone will be definitely right now. अभी ऐसे बोले कि फोन को तुम्हारे हाथ से हटा दो, ऐसा तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Somebody will take your phone and keep you will die. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for that, means you will be starving for it. So I should not say like that. I'm very, very sorry. Just keep from my mouth. And so phone is a major distraction for all the students, everyone. So as far as possible, keep your phone in silent mode so that you won't get the notifications and you won't hear the sound of your WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever it is. So you will not get the notification, and keep it out of your sight. Okay, that is very, very important, that if you not see the phone, then, and if you're finding anytime you're getting bored out of studying, take a short break like 5-10 minutes. After reading for 1 hour, just roam around here and there a little bit. Don't go for the phone. If you just open the phone, means you'll be stuck there for 1 hour or 2 hours. Don't do that. You can take a short walk, or you can just talk to your friend for 5-10 minutes what is going on. You can have some little bit of snacks. You can do all these things, but don't look at your phone. Okay. Yeah. Anybody finding any other difficulties in study? No. And I'll be telling you what I asked you to do the thing seriously. Do be very what sincere to yourself, because right now we are not in a classroom situation that I can see your face, because face also tells a lot of things, no? Like are you doing the thing sincerely or not? What are you thinking while you are in class? So I cannot see all those things. So for me, how sincere you are, that will be, see, you can feel my sincerity, what hard work I am putting. I can feel your sincerity. That is what, that is your own feeling only. Nobody can impose it. Okay, so you have to show your hard work, that I can feel it, we can feel it, that you are doing, you are putting efforts, right? So be sincere to yourself, that your performance matters to your family, your career most. So be sincere for your studies. Don't waste your time, because only you have 5-6 months remaining in your hands. Okay मैम, बुक्स ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल हो सकता है क्या? आपको कौन सी बुक चाहिए एक्चुअली? किस बुक की बात कर रहे हो आप, आकांक्षा? एचसी दुबे, एचसी दुबे, आई डोंट थिंक एचसी दुबे, देखना पड़ेगा। शायद आपको टेलीग्राम पे बहुत सारे चैनल्स हैं, उसमें कहीं पे हो सकता है। मुझे अगर मिलेगा तो मैं शेयर करूंगी ग्रुप में, डोंट वरी। पर आई वुड सजेस्ट कि तुम्हें एचसी दुबे ऑनलाइन ना पढ़ के तुम्हें एक कॉपी ले लेनी चाहिए। all of you, what I would tell is, for the basic textbooks of your breeding pathology, one book at least, like your essentials plant breeding for breeding, fundamentals of genetics for genetics, and HC Dubey book for pathology, and then your Taro Kapoor book for microbiology. Get the hard copy of it. Okay, that will be very useful, because SC Dubey you have to read several times, right? And as many times you will read and underline it, or physically will be in touch with the book, that will be much useful. Still I will be searching, if at all I am getting the soft copy, I'll be share, don't worry. Yeah, but I would suggest you should go for hard copy of the book. Anything else? Baki, whenever you find any difficulty in your study, or you find any other difficulty, you can share. We will try to solve it out. Okay, और कुछ कहना है किसी को? नहीं, थक गए हो सभी? चलो कोई बात नहीं, मैंने बहुत और टाइमिंग पे क्लास लिया, पर मेरा कॉलेज का शेड्यूल थोड़ा रहता है टाइट, इस वजह से मैं दिन में क्लास नहीं ले पाती हूँ। सो सैटरडे संडे को मैं ट्राई करूँगी मैक्सिमली क्लास लेने का, तो आप लोगों के टाइम के साथ मैच हो सके, दिन में क्लास ले सकूँ। बट whenever I'll find some compatible time, I'll take class, don't worry, and I'll not miss your class anyhow. So if at all I have missed any in any week any class, I'll be taking extra class for that. Okay, so I think you all are tired. So did you gain some idea regarding how to prepare, how to study today?
हाँ मैम।
चलो अच्छे से उसको, आई होप, आई एक्सपेक्ट दैट you all will try to, not try, you will all will follow that. And if you want to do any sort of changes, or if you find any of the difficulty while reading, or in any of the strategy or anything you want, you can discuss with us anytime, no problem. And regarding the books and all, soft copies, whatever soft copies I am having or sir is having, will be sharing with you all the soft copies. And but try to get the hard copy. Okay, 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 that's it for today's class. अच्छा ठीक है, एक बात मुझे और बताओ, आज कितने लोगों ने ग्लोसरी पढ़ा था? सच्ची बताना है, ठीक है? टेल मी ट्रूथ, हाउ मेनी पीपल हैव स्टडीड ग्लोसरी टुडे? How many of you?
Ma'am, I'm studying right now.
अयो
Ma'am,
ओके,
I'm also studying right now.
देखो नहीं पढ़े, डिडंट रीड। फिर और
मैम मैंने पढ़ लिया।
पढ़ लिया, गुड। और बाकी सब कहाँ गए? 4-5 की आवाज मुझे सुनने में आ रहा है, 10 लोग हैं मीटिंग में अभी। चलो थैंक यू कि आपने मुझे बताया। नहीं पढ़ा, आकांक्षा ने भी नहीं पढ़ा, वंदना, देवाशीष नहीं पढ़ा। चलो कोई बात नहीं, आप लोग ऑनेस्टली मुझे बताए, खुशी हुई मुझे जान के। पर ठीक है, पढ़ना जरूरी है। और एक टाइमिंग रखो, एक काम करो, फिक्स अ टाइमिंग फॉर द पर्टिकुलर थिंग, दैट at what time to what time you will finish the reading that particular glossary, so that you will not be missing it. Like you fix a time in 7:30 to 8 or any particular time, so that whenever that time comes you have to read the particular thing. Okay, so in that way you will be forced, you will be in a track. Every day you are doing the same thing, means after some days you will be automatically, you will feel like reading it. Okay, चलो पढ़ लो, अभी 3-4 घंटे हैं। चलो ठीक है।
Sure, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Did you get benefit out of, anybody felt means new concepts are help you are getting from grocery? Definitely you'll be getting. And you tell me, after 15 days after reading the grocery, you will feel the change, you will feel the change.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Definitely.
yeah. एंड आप लोगों ने जो भी डाउट्स डाले हैं, एक्चुअली टाइम कमी होने की वजह से मैंने सर ने उसको क्लियर नहीं कर पाए हैं। जो भी डाउट्स है मैंने देख के रखा है, उसको डेफिनेटली मैं क्लियर करूंगी, ठीक है? क्योंकि मेरे पास बुक्स नहीं थे, मैं घर पे थी, तो इस वजह से अभी मैं कॉलेज आ गई, रिटर्न कर गई हूँ। तो अभी बुक्स में से मतलब, क्योंकि इफ आई नॉट बी हैविंग एनी reliable source, I should not tell you the fact, right? Because that will be misleading you, so I don't
मैम
want
आप
to mislead you.
मैम आप पढ़ाई करते
Yeah.
हो?
हाँ, मैंने बोला तो था, मैं PhD स्टूडेंट हूँ, पहले क्लास में।
हम कहाँ पे?
आई एम ए PhD स्टूडेंट एट TNAU in the Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding.
Ma'am, TNU.
मैम आप
Yeah.
उड़ीसा से हो ना?
मैं उड़ीसा से हूँ, तो TNA में नहीं पढ़ सकती क्या?
हाँ, वही तो।
नहीं मैम।
या मैं उड़ीसा से हूँ, बट आई एम डूइंग PhD एट TNA.
मैम मैं भी उड़ीसा से हूँ।
थैंक यू, गुड।
मैं भी उड़ीसा से हूँ।
ऐसे नहीं है भैया, कोई भाईचारा नहीं चलेगा यहाँ पे, बट ओके, गुड। चलो गुड नाइट। आप लोगों से बात करके अच्छा लगा। आई होप कि आप लोग सब पढ़ोगे सिंसियरली। कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आए तो बताना। या आई मीन कोयम्बतूर ब्रांचेस।
ठीक है मैम, थैंक यू मैम।
ओके, बाय बाय, गुड नाइट।
गुड
गुड
नाइट
नाइट
मैम।
मैम।
एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के बारे में बताओ ना लोगों को।